the beautiful and the talented Miley Cyrus. Alright, Miley Cyrus, Nicole, yes, please take a seat. You are so beautiful. I am such a fan. And I'm going to make a complete fool out of myself today. Yeah, welcome to Manila. Actually, it's this one. Here. Yeah. Thanks. Welcome to Manila. How are you feeling?
Good. I'm a little thrown off just because of the time difference, but it's awesome. I went to the show this morning and saw some of the fans, so it's going to be awesome.
Is this your first time?
Yeah. My brother's been here before, so he told me that the crowd is awesome. He played the same place I'm playing tomorrow.
How are you liking it so far? Have you been around?
I haven't gotten too much time just because we got here so late last night, but after this is my last thing today, so we're just going to go explore. My mom, the first thing she wants to do is go shopping, of course. So I'll probably end up doing that later.
All right. Okay, well, Miley, we have our friends from the press here, and they have a bunch of questions for you that we have in this bowl right here. Okay, I will pick a question and read it out and feel free to answer. All right, this question is coming from an anonymous press member. He says, what was your most memorable concert or gig?
Probably playing with Joan Jett. I was on Oprah, one of her final shows, and we played, and it was Women Who Rock. So it was amazing just to be there with, the women that have been around and that have, made artists, possible, women rockers possible. So awesome.
All right. Okay, let's move on to our next question. This question is coming from Mr. Alex. And you're going to like this. He says, what is love?
What is love? Love is someone that doesn't try to always give you the answers, but sometimes love is just listening, and that's something that I've learned a lot is the thing that you need the most is just someone to listen sometimes, and friendship has to be the core of whatever kind of love you're looking for. Just trust and honesty. Trust is our glue.
I just have a follow-up question to that. Is there anyone in particular
that I'm in love with?
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe.
All right, let's move on to the next question. This is coming from Sire Arevalo, or Cine Arevalo. I hope I read it right. I'm so sorry. How do you find Manila so far?
Just the fans have been amazing. I just went and did a show this morning and saw some of the fans, and they were all super stoked. They all had their signs, and it's just great. I think when people are excited, and I think it helps when it's your first time coming somewhere. It was that way in South America, and so really looking forward to being here in the Philippines and then going, I'll show you.
So you have how many more stops after the Philippines?
I have a few shows and I'll show you, and then I get to go home. So I've got some time actually when I go back home, which is great, but it's work hard, play hard. So I'm looking forward to this next kind of month and just getting to explore.
All right, okay. Our next question is a long one coming from Julian of Star Studio Magazine. You left Twitter a while back but signed up for a new account when you started this new tour. What's changed about your tweeting style, and will you continue tweeting even after the tour ends?
I think what changed was I shut my Twitter off just when I was home in LA for a few weeks after South America and before coming here. I think everything is okay in moderation, and just knowing that people don't have to know what I eat every day and what time I'm going to sleep and what I'm doing every second. I think it's really good for artists and especially musicians, just because you get a completely different connection with your fans and you feel like you really know them. But you don't have to tweet every single thing you're doing. You don't have to tweet about your private life because it's not private anymore and it's not personal. And I don't really care what someone is doing 24/7. And I don't think everyone cares what I'm doing 24/7. So I think just using it when it's that time to connect with your fans, and then you stop using it when it's time to disconnect and just be real for a little bit.
That makes so much sense. I will take that piece
Yeah.
of advice.
And by the way, once it's deleted, there's another Twitter page that is only the deleted tweets. So something is never really deleted. So really read it like 20 times before you put it up, because it's never gone forever. And I just think, it's kind of scary when you put something on the internet, especially I just got 1 million followers, and so to know that 1 million people right away are going to read something, even something that I didn't double check, it's just, I think safer just to really reread your stuff and know that you can stand by whatever statement you make.
That's right. So, with having said that, will you be tweeting still after the tour, or?
As I'm working, I've got a few things coming up right after. I have a little break, just having vacation time, and I probably won't then, but whatever films I work on, whatever I'm doing, I just think it's good to, when you keep your fans rolling, and also to inform them on what's going on and causes that are important to you and things going on in the world that are important to me. I use it to even, people don't think of me as someone that likes to kind of get into politics or whatever, but I think you can say a lot of things, you can reach a lot of people, and I think that's, nice to be able to share your opinion.
Okay. All right. Well, we will be following you on that new Twitter account. Okay. Our next question comes from Wada, Sally Wada from Odyssey. She says, "How do you deal with the fame, and do you still get that alone time with your family and your friends?"
I make it super important to have that, and I think it's also, no matter what, you can't there's always going to be paparazzi, there's always going to be things like that, in LA, but I think you make it a limit and you know that here's my limit, I deserve respect, I am a person, and I think you just draw your boundaries and if you respect other people and you do it in a way that, it is sweet and they don't want to, be mean to you or write bad things, but you just say, this is my family time, this is my friend time, and this is for me personally and for nobody else, and if they don't, follow the rules, then you get into some problems. But I think just making sure you separate that, and if you demand respect, you get it.
So you're saying once you make it clear to the paparazzi that I'm the kind of person that don't want every bit of my life publicized, they respect that?
No, yeah, totally. I think if you just get the right views, and if someone isn't respecting what you're saying, I mean, it's illegal. If you're saying don't follow me, you're scaring me. It's not okay, and also I don't love weird, creepy dudes hiding in bushes and taking pictures of me in my bathing suit, and then someone judging me on who looks better in the same bathing suit as me. That's stupid and it's ignorant, and it's such a waste of space. There's so many great things out there to read. If you spend your time reading that, it's like, I don't know, I just think it's super important to kind of block that out, especially if you're in my position, because it sucks.
All right. Okay. Well, we definitely have friendly press here in the Philippines, so that shouldn't be a problem for you. Okay, our next question comes from Clara Nuevo from Meg Magazine. She says, at 18, you've already done a lot and traveled the world. Do you ever get tired of or stressed? Have you ever wanted to take a break from it all?
You know what? I don't really get stressed in my work as much as sometimes I do. I think life in general is actually harder than what I do because constantly I'm just creating, and if I'm creating, I'm happy. There's always going to be times where you don't understand, why things are said about you, or, sometimes people just don't get it, but as an artist, that's our job to create what we love and what we want to say, and so I think life, just the silly things in life, the things that you shouldn't sweat the small stuff, and I tend to do that sometimes. I have to remind myself, okay, I've dealt with so many bigger challenges, it's not as important, you know what I mean, and so I guess kind of life gets me more stressed than actual work.
So you've never reached like a breaking point where you said, you know what, all this ain't worth it. You've never reached that.
I don't think when I'm performing, I just remember that feeling and I know it's worth it. And also sometimes I just get stressed and like, what am I doing with my life? Like I know there's so much greater things that I should be doing in my life when people think that I'm already doing the greatest thing that there can be, that people know me and I sell my records and I just know there's greater things, but you have to take everything and say, I'm on this amazing platform, I can use this, and if I want to take time to just go do good charity work, go, somewhere else I can, and I'm lucky enough I can take my family on good vacations and be able to shut it down for a little while. I don't feel like I have to constantly work or do things that I don't enjoy, I'm not a new kid moving to LA. It's like I've worked hard, so now I can take time and take a break,
All right. Okay, let's move on to the next question. This one is coming from an anonymous press member. He says, how does it feel like traveling around the world and singing your songs to people who don't even speak the same language? This is interesting.
I think it's really amazing. I was actually super nervous the first night I was going on when I was in South America. I was super nervous because I was like, that's kind of what gets me going and gives me the energy is the fans singing along and relating. And I find it totally incredible that they sing along even the whole time when you wouldn't, think that they could. And I still see people getting really emotional even during the time. You see people cry, you see people laugh during songs. They totally get it. I think it's more like a spiritual connection, and I enjoy that. Not necessarily speaking the same language because I let my music kind of speak for itself more than getting caught up. But it's kind of hard too because I really like talking to the fans, and when I feel like I can't communicate back and forth. But when you tell people to stand up and get loud, everyone knows that.
It's not a problem.
Yeah, everyone gets up. So it works.
All right, well, we are down to our last 5 questions. This one from one with a name. This is coming from Shiloh from Total Girl. She says, one reason you've been our cover girl for so many times is because of all your social outreach. Why is this important to you as an artist, and will you continue this drive in this new chapter?
Yeah, my most important thing is my fans, you know, and as many times as I can kind of, you know, communicate with them, and that's just all that really matters to me at all, you know. Of course, it's always hard if someone writes something about you or something doesn't go the way life plans, but as long as my fans are on board, I'm really lucky because I've kind of had the same fan base that's grown up with me, and it's awesome as I've gotten older, my fans gotten older, and it's cool also for my family to kind of see that from kind of the outside looking in also.
All right. This is our 4th to the last question. She says, if you were not in the entertainment industry, what do you think you would be doing right now?
I love photography and I love to travel, so I just think the greatest part, especially about the pictures we're able to take now, is I'm being able to share them with fans that may never go to these places that I am. So I love being able to do that, and I think, you know, it's very rare that we capture a moment, you know, that they say a picture says a million words, but sometimes it doesn't. I think it's nice when you capture that, you know, and you can experience and take pictures and come back. And I love that, and I love fashion, so I would love to take, you know, pictures and be involved in the fashion industry too.
Have you ever taken lessons for this classes?
I'm lucky. I mean, look at all the cameras around. So I'm kind of lucky, and my buddy, he comes on tour with me, and I've kind of learned, and I read about it a little bit, but mostly I kind of taught myself. I know the pictures that I like to take, and I think it's like anything you do, any kind of art, I like kind of supernatural and kind of more hippie styles, and kind of bringing back the 70s a little bit. That's kind of the style that I like also. So I think just making the pictures that you think are beautiful, and I'm sure there's someone out there that thinks it is too, but you gotta take it for yourself.
All right. And our 3rd to the last question is coming from MCA. They say, what was your childhood dream?
Always this, and just always, you know, I was always just excited to learn about every aspect of this industry. I've always wanted to be a singer, I've always wanted to act, I've always wanted to produce, I've always wanted to write. Just always wanted to create things, even if it's not for myself as an artist, but for other artists, so it's always been what I've loved to do. And performing has always been my main one. I would lock my brothers away and make them listen to me sing. And it would always be really bad show tunes and probably not sound too good. But I've always kind of just wanted to perform.
All right. 2nd to the last question. It's from MCA once again. Have you ever disappointed your parents about anything? What and how did you make it up to them?
If anyone says they haven't disappointed their parents, they're lying. I mean, I can think of multiple times, but my parents are always giving me the sit down and the lesson. I think the worst time I ever made them really, really upset was me and my brother. It was right when my mom had my little sister, and so we were kind of jealous of the new baby. And we went down and we broke a window, and my dad was like, you vandalized. Not only did you vandalize, but your own home. Like, how dumb are you? Like, why would you do that? You're going to get caught. It's your own house. No one else did it. And me and my brother, we had a tree house, and we hid in our tree house for like a few hours, and then we needed snacks, and we had to go home.
Oh, how old were you then?
We were like probably, I think I was like 9, because we just had my little sister and my dad. It was like a big talking to. But usually my dad just kind of gives us talks, and we move on and try to learn from it.
How about as a grown-up? Have you ever had like a bad adult choice?
Now my mom is the one that does the adult choice talking to. My dad's kind of like, oh, I did all the childhood stuff. That was time for my mom. Of course, like, there's always been times where they're not totally excited about your choices, and it's not even just one choice. There's, things where me and my family are all completely different. My brother's got an entire face tattoo. It's like, there's things I wish he didn't have that on his face, but my mom's like, this is who he is, and this is his DNA, and this is what I created, and this is the person, that he's become, and so she just loves us for who we are, which is, I think, the greatest, I have the greatest parents just because of that.
Alright? And our last question.